Hi guys, it's Brandon with Red State 08 with the TNOutdoorForum.com, coming to you today with another video involving ropes, knots, and this time we're going to talk about lashing, guys. One knot that I left out of the last video intentionally is the knot that is used for lashing, which lashing is the process of taking wood or other items that you would have and lashing them together to form structures or to build shelter. And there are several lashes that you can do. Now the lash I'm going to talk about right here is the very basic lash that you would ever use. It's called a square lash. Just a very simple lash. You can do most anything you would ever want to build. You can build with a square lash. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So the first thing that we do when we start a lash is you want to make sure that the cordage you have is in a concise roll. So for that reason, before I start lashing anything, I'll always take my cordage and I'm going to wind my cordage around my hand. That way I have the cordage in a concise, rolled up spool. That just makes it easier to handle the cordage as you start doing your lash work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by tying the knot that you use to start and to finish all lashes with. So we're going to take the cordage. We're going to tie what's called a clothesline hitch. Now the clothesline hitch is tied like this. Just quite simply, you pull it around and you make an X with the rope. You pull it around the X and through from underneath. And once it's tied on, you've got it good and tight on your wood, you have your clothesline hitch. And that's it. So that's all there is to it, guys. So to start a lash, we're going to take the object we're lashing to, in this case this other stick, and we're going to set it this way. So the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go down between the lash points. We're going to go around the back, around the front, around the back. So once we've done that, it's going to cause these two items to make a bite against each other. Then we're going to go around the clove hitch knot. You want to go around the knot for a reason, and what that does is it tightens the purpose of your knot. So you go around the knot, back over, around. Each time I'm going, I'm tensioning the rope. I'm pulling against the rope to build more tension every time. Because you want tension to cinch up to hold these two sticks together, and then there's a final step to the tension. So we've made 2 revolutions with this rope around these sticks right now. So now what we're going to do is there's a part of the lashing that in the final part of the lash is called a frap. Now I'm going to show you what the frap is and how that works. The frap on your lashing is where once you've gone around however many times you're going to go around with the lash, you're going to pull down, and you can see right here is where our clove hitch started. So we're going to pull down here, and then instead of going down and around this way, we're going to actually come around the side post here, up, and we're going to come around this way on the lash. Now this is what that allows us to do, guys. We are basically going to take this rope very tightly and I'm trying to get it as tight as I can, guys, and go around the lashing that we have just created. This is called frapping. The process of frapping gives you tension against your lash, and it makes your lash absolutely just rock solid. So once you've done that a couple of times, guys, what I like to do is come out on the other side of the stick where I started my first clove hitch. That original clove hitch, as you can see the pigtail right here. I like to come on the other side of the stick from where the original clove hitch started, and I make another clove hitch, and that's how you close your lash. So I'm going to go around. We'll have to stretch our cordage out to do this, to finish it. around. You'll have to get a little tension up from there. Then what you do, take your line, and you pull your line back through, and I've done that backwards. In case you can't see, looking at it from the angle that I'm at, guys, I'm not at the appropriate distance or parameter to be able to actually judge this exactly right. So I'm looking at it kind of backwards as to what you're seeing. So that's part of the problem. We'll do it on this stick here, which is fine. There's not a set, guys. Whatever works for you. So we're going to go around once. I'm going to come back over my knot again. I'm going to take my rope, feed it through, and once you've done that, guys, you torque it down as tight as you can get it. You have an appropriately tied lash with the appropriate frapping. That's what it looks like from the back. And you also have the appropriate open and closing knots. That's going to give you structural stability in the event that you want to lash together support braces for your shelter or tools that you would use in the outdoors. Now, stuff like jute twine, 550 cord, things like that will lash a lot better than this larger rope, in my opinion, just because you can really crank down and tighten down on stuff like that, and it just seems to me to hold tight. Another thing that you can do to actually make tools is Native Americans used to use rawhide. They would take rawhide and they would soak it in water till it was wet. Then they would go and they would lash wet rawhide as tight as they could lash it. And then at that point, what they would do is they would lay it out in the sun until it dried. Once that rawhide dries, after it's been lashed wet, when it dries, it removes the malleability and the stretchability of the rawhide out of the material, and it causes it to shrink down and condense down. That way, once it dries out, it is absolutely hard and solid as a rock, which is actually another thing you might be able to do and use someday. Just wanted to share that with you, just a quick simple explanation of the clove hitch, simple explanation of starting the lash. There's several other lashes you can do. One of the other lashes that I can think of that I can show you fairly simply is called a round lash, and it just simply is exactly what it sounds like. It's round. And we'll show you that one real quick as well. Now, as with, like I said, with the other lash, all lashes start and end with a clove hitch. So we already know that that's going to be the case. But let's say we had two poles that we needed to lash two poles together to make a longer pole. That's what a round lash is going to be used for. So to start our round lash, guys, we're going to take the first pole that we're working with. We're going to take it and we're going to tie our clove hitch. Just like so. Now, after our clove hitch is tied, I'm going to pull this down some. After our clove hitch is tied, what we're then basically going to do, guys, is get our other piece of pole that we're going to lash to. We're going to line the two up like this. And we are basically going to wrap around them. Now, when you do this, you want to do it as neatly and as uniformly as you can. I only have one set of hands. This is something typically works better when you have somebody helping you out, your buddy that you're with, or whoever that you have to do it. But in this situation, my mother-in-law has been great to come out and run the camera for me today, and we really appreciate her doing that. That's helped me out a whole lot to show you guys some things hands-on that I normally wouldn't get to. because, as you all know, if you've watched any of my videos, I normally am the camera guy and doing all the action too. So we really appreciate her helping out with that. She's been a tremendous help. Always is. And so on the round lash, guys, you just literally just keep going round. Now this could be used in building an upright support. It could be used in building you know, a pole for a bait line for a trap. There's just so many uses you can use this for. Now, one thing you can do, and you can see I've wound this together really tight with that cordage. One thing that can be done is if you have any give between the poles like that, you can at some point pull around down. And if you can get it in there, I'm not going to be able to, but if you can get it in there and get it together, you can go back around those and you can frap if needs be. I don't think it's necessary because I've got it wound so tight together that they are not going to come apart. These two poles are together for good. But like I said, you know, you're just going to use as much as you feel like you need to have the tightness and the togetherness that you want with your lashing, and that is your round lash. That's how that works. When you get ready to close, you're actually going to do your clove hitch, but you're going to pull it around both sticks, pull through, and crank that knot down. There you have it, guys. There's your simple round lash that you have that will lash your poles together if you need for your upright support. Say you needed to make a support to hold a part of your shelter up like that, and you just needed the stick to be a little bit longer. Well, that's how I would do it, guys. I would make a round lash. You know, there's a lot of other uses you can use for it, but we wanted to share that with you guys and show y'all how that worked. Guys, as always, I'm Brandon Burrows, Red State 08 with the TNOutdoorForum.com. Come visit our site and check us out. If you like the videos, make sure you click like below and make sure you subscribe. Guys, we appreciate you checking out the video today. I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome.
Click the red button.